Hey everyone, this is your OG, and this is another Godforge video. Today we'll be showing you the order within the Cavern of Chaos, and I'll be revealing my strategy for Wave 3, so you don't want to miss this if you are looking to be in the top 1% of the testers. Without further ado, let's optimize. Hey everyone, this is your OG, and we are back. And we are going to just throw this on in the background, but we are going to cover today our Alpha Wave 3, not perfect plan, but maybe precision plan, okay? This is going to be the plan we use to attack Alpha in this, or the Alpha testing in this next wave. So here we go. We're just going to share it with you. In the early game, I'm going to start with Lady Zoc, and I'm going to run Lady Zoc with a battle axe. So I'm going to stop at level 8 and get maybe 3 to 5 battle axes. We'll see how lucky I get. Then we're going to go to 9. Level 9, we're going to farm, and we're going to refine those battle axes, because that's also where you can get Asgard Godsteel. So we're going to do that for Lady Zoc, and we're going to push her to level 50 and just try to smash our way as far as we can with our DPS, and hopefully a second DPS as well, which we will have. So we will then have our battle axe. We'll get to level 58. We'll get Kopesh's, 2 shams. Let's see, 2 Kopesh's up to 50, 1 Shamshir up to 50, and 2 Heka weapons up to 50. And that will be what we need. And we'll show you how we know that later, but in the portfolio section. But this is what we're going to be farming for in terms of weapons. And then we're going to go and farm level 29 or 59 to get the Godsteel to refine these for Scotty and for Shinigami and Dagonet. Okay? We're then going to build Lady Zoc with a battle axe and Hippolyta with a Shamshir and a second DPS, either Shinigami or Gilgamesh, all to level 50. That is going to be our core 3 that are going to push for us in wave clearing in the beginning, in the early game. Once we get to level 90, that's where we're going to be considering the mid game. Level 90 was a pretty good stop in wave 2. So we're going to push up to level 90, and then we're going to farm Scotty, Emotep, and Gilgamesh, either using levels 50, 60, 70, or 80 to farm that. We're then going to build out Scotty, Emotep, and Gilgamesh, and we're going to use them to beat level 50. And then we are going to farm level 1, push up to level 100, and farm for scrolls and heroes. Really good level to get epic heroes from. So that's what we're going to do in the mid game. Then we're going to push to level 120, the Golden Guardian here. We're going to then go back to level 108. We're going to farm Aminono weapons. We're going to get 15 of those, which will be 3 of them up to 5-star. So that will be, we're not going to do more than 3, just 3 Aminono weapons for our Golden Guardian and Fafnir fights. We're then going to go to level 109, and we're going to farm Godsteel to push up those Aminono weapons. That's the Izumu Godsteel, both rare and epic. We need 642 rare and 960 epic, and then 30 legendary Godsteel to push up those 3 weapons fully. So we'll show you how we know that. We're going to then beat 120, and we'll push to level 132, which is a level that we were stopped up at. And we will then go back and farm level 130 for heroes and tomes. We're looking for Anubis, Heimdall, Isis, Aphrodite, Zeus, Shamash, and Sphinx. We are looking for tomes. The average hero has 16 tomes or scrolls per for their abilities. That's about the average. You get 1 to 5 tomes per drop. So you need about, I'd say, 10 runs per legendary to get all their tomes. So if you have 2, 4, 6, 7 there, that's 70 runs at level 130 to get likely to get all the tomes you're going to need for those legendaries to be fully tomed up. Epics, rares, I just had enough of those pages and scrolls from farming the tomes. I never had to worry, and so I just pushed up their abilities to max as I needed to. We'll then farm level 129 for XP to help us promote these new legendaries, and farm 120 for coin to help gear them up. We'll beat level 132, and we'll push to level 142, another kind of stopping point level. And we'll show you that in a second. Then we're going to farm level 140 for spirits and heroes. So we got there to 142. We'll push back to 140 for spirits and heroes. Because this is 140 drops 5-star spirits, supposedly. Not many dropped, but you at least can get 4-star spirits here, which helps with pushing up all these new Legos you have to 60 or at least to 50 for now. I'm pushing DPSs to 60 first, leaving anybody with high HP and that with, to a level 50. So Isis, Shamash, they can operate at a level 50 and still work. So I'm going to prioritize which of my heroes go up to level 60 first, and they're always going to be damage dealers first. So that is that, and then I'm going to beat level 142, push to 149, another big stopping point. Beat 149, beat 150. Those aren't too challenging, and we'll post a score on 151. Then we'll turn around and focus on our 2-star challenges. So here are all our 2-star challenges, along with who we need really to beat them. Based off of last wave, I came within 12, 14, because 2 were buggy and didn't work. But there were 12 levels I didn't 2-star out of 300. So I was at like 288 basically out of 300, but 286 because 2 didn't count. So this is all of the experience we've taken from wave 1 and wave 2 going after 2-star challenges to put in who we're going to use and what is the bare minimum number of heroes we need to complete these 2-star challenges, get the rewards, and get what we need for resources, but not overly build. Okay, so this shows you all the 2-star challenges. The ones in red are the ones we don't expect to pass on our first try. Like, we'll come back for those, no big deal. So once we hit 151, we can turn back and start looking at what our team is and how it fits into completing the rest of these 2-star challenges. So that is, and then you see 150. We did do this 2-star in wave 1, but we didn't do it in wave 2. So it changed a little bit, got a little bit harder in terms of resistance and accuracy. And we couldn't seem to have high enough resistance to block the blaze. So that's one in yellow, 120. We never beat it in under 25 total turns. So that's something. And we beat the crap out of, let me see. I'm going to take a quick second. Yeah, we beat the living crap out of it. 4101 bounty was our highest. Okay, this came out to many millions of coin. So we were not playing around with 120, but, or, look at, we're about to cross 1 billion here against Fafnir. We're in 39th place overall, and this was our final push in the last 12 hours for a Fafnir score over 1 billion, which we put in. So this is just running in the background to give you an idea of what we're coming from in terms of experience and this. Okay, so this is the path. This is the way we'd like to go. This is the way we're hoping to go. And why? Well, this is our portfolio. This is who we expect or are looking to have, okay? I have 20 heroes right here. That is our main bulk, our main team. These ones right here are all for 2-star challenges, okay? So they're extra heroes we're going to build because they will help us get through more of the 2-star challenges. So Isolde is in a number of 2-star challenges. Ramses and Guan Yu are in a number. Kate Sith can help you with a lot. You always need a uncommon and a common, so I've chosen Shublagal and Satyr as the 2 that I'm going to build out. You see their affinity here, so you know which of the stones they're going to need, alchemy stones. They're all at level 1, obviously, right now, but I'll track what level they're at. So, Heimdall will be at level 50, and it'll work like this so that we'll know, I'll be able to view in one portfolio where my team is and who needs to be built. This right here, 3,500, is roughly the amount of XP to take a hero from 1 all the way to level 60. Don't quote me on it. Like, the numbers have been, we've been like adding here, adding there, like trying to get them. But it looks to be about 3,500 experience, 3.5 million experience, sorry, to bring a single hero from level 1 to level 60. So this is some of the order we can help you with here. Okay, I need to farm this amount of XP. I'm going to a level ending in 9 to farm XP. I'm also getting Godsteel too, but those are the best levels for XP. And so you see here, we need all in total on wave 3 about 70 million XP. That's a lot. It's a lot of XP. The average level drops something like 40,000 XP. From like wave 1, I captured what rewards I got at every level. Average level drops like 40,000 XP. you need 70 million XP. So it's a lot, okay? But as you get somebody up to 50, this XP level is dropping, down to only what it takes to get them to 60 from there, which is, I think, like 1.9 million XP. So almost 2 million XP is to take him from 6-star to 60, to level 60, just that last bit. So I wouldn't be doing that. I would probably be just using them in the battles to get them up to 60, instead of trying to use your XP, because it's going to very quickly evaporate whatever XP you had. And I think at one point I had 20 million XP from farming some levels while I was gone for a couple hours and stuff. So you can get the levels that we're talking about here, and then you'll want to just, as the levels go up here, this XP will diminish, and we'll know just how much more XP we need to get in total for what we're trying to do. Same with coin. Coin, it doesn't cost a lot of coin to promote heroes. It's kind of smaller side, which is good. But you see 200,000 coin and 3.5 million XP. That's what it roughly takes to promote a hero from level 1 all the way up to level 60. Okay, so we have 4.2 million coin. I think I got that just in my 4,101 bounty run. But regardless, so the coin's not the thing stopping you. Coin is really for gear and leveling up your gear and stuff like that. That's where you need the coin the most. But XP here is the big limiting factor you see. So you're going to want to be farming the 9s whenever you get stuck at a level. Like you get stuck at 70, you get stuck at 80, go back 1 level and farm that. Pretty well-known concept. We've been doing it since wave 1, but other folks caught on and told people too that, this is the, go to 1 level back, and that's where you get the best experience. So that's pretty interesting. Now we also have ascensions here. So you can see I'm going to bold, whether they're ascended 2, 3, or obviously 3 is the key that unlocks their passive. So for me, in the last run, I really only focused on unlocking passives. Then I went back and fully ascended the folks that I was bringing into the final team with Fafnir, or to the Golden Guardian team. So I have put in here what it takes. This is what it takes to bring a legendary to full ascension, 6-star ascension. You need 75 raw stones, 90 polished stones, and 75 perfect stones within the correct affinity color, strength, cunning, wisdom, or eternal. So I've broken out how many each of my heroes requires. This is how much it is for a epic. This is how much it is for a rare, and below. I didn't get the ascensions for the commons and uncommons as clean, but it's not the end of the world. You're not going to be building out all your uncommons and commons, and you're not going to need to really worry so much. But this all totals up and tells me, okay, I need 327 raw strength alchemy stones in total. So if I'm farming level 55 and it's dropping, I think that drops cunning and eternal maybe, or something like that. But I know how many I need, and I can just be ticking down this as I get them and be keeping track, and only be doing exactly as many runs as I need to for each resource. So I'm not just letting it farm for 2 hours and getting as much of this resource as I can. I'm farming exactly as much as I need, and then I'm moving to the next thing. So this is the precision path. I won't call it perfect, because I don't think there's any perfect path or perfect plan, but this is a precision plan for you if you really want to race to the top to 150, and if you really want them, which I think is the best strategy from what I've seen so far. I hate to say it, I didn't race to the top in the first 2 either time, but both times, people who did got ahead of the bug fixes and put in scores that no one else could touch after the fixes. So unfortunately, I have very low trust that we're going to see wave 3 without any bugs. I think they're going to play a role, and I hate that, and I wish it wasn't the case, but I have not seen a clean run yet. So I'm pretty sure we're going to be dealing with some bugs of some kind, and the best strategy there is to be first, unfortunately, and to use the bug to your advantage, post an untouchable score, and then, just roll back to your 2 stars while everybody else is struggling to get by 120 or whatever, because they just nerfed 120 or changed it or put a patch. And so I was farming 120 in wave 2 for a while, and then they put a patch in, and then I couldn't beat it. So, and I was at like 140 or something at that time. So Unfortunately, I think the best strategy is to get up the tower or down the cavern, I guess you could say, to 150 as fast as possible, get everything beat, get everything unlocked and open so you can spend the most time farming at the most efficient levels or floors. So that's what we're going to try to do here. Now, you can see the awakenings. So they're all at 0 awakenings, and they need to be at 5-star awakenings, but some more important than others. Heimdall's A5 is very, very important, like very important. So I want to get duplicate copies of Heimdall, but I really don't want that. I want the imprints to work in Wave 3. The universal imprints did not work in Wave 1, did not work in Wave 2. You got them as some of the best rewards, and then they disappeared. And that was really difficult in terms of awakening some of your heroes because you literally just had to get duplicate copies of them. So I was farming a lot of heroes, helped me get all 17 Legos, all 67 heroes, but at the same time, it's highly inefficient. So I am going to be looking to make the most of imprints and hope that imprints work in Wave 3 because that will change that quite a bit. If I get a Asgard Universal imprint, I know I'm saving that until Heimdall. I have Heimdall. You know, I'm not using that on Scotty. I'm not, because I'm going to get 17 Scotties, you know. So those things will be more efficient in this run, where in Wave 1 and Wave 2, I was just having fun. Let's use this, you know, legendary for a imprint for this one. You know, who cares, right? I was not playing it serious. I was playing to learn and to test and to try different things out. So that will not be the case in Wave 3. We will be going to hyper efficiency or precision mode, as I'm showing you here, and we will be dialing into the exact number of what we need so that we are not spending an extra, you know, 1 or 2 energy on anything we shouldn't be. Because that's the one thing I think will change in this wave. In the previous 2 waves, we got dropped extreme amounts of energy. Like, energy was never an issue. I never had to be like conservation mindset of like, okay, I only have so much energy. What do I use it on first? That was never an issue. Competition Wave 3, I kind of feel like the energy drops may not be as generous because that will only help those who are doing well, and it can make it feel unfair. I doubt we're going to get as big of energy drops. I just don't expect it, and I don't want to plan towards it. So I am trying to think in the way of how can I use everything as efficiently as I can without getting any extras. And if I get extras, beautiful, great, right? But like, not planning to it. Okay, so the awakenings, duplicates, how many do you need? 130 for me. Some of these, not too bad. You know, you get a bunch of these rares, like just a lot of rares throughout the course of farming and beating levels, beating every 10 level. I swear I got rares a lot because it seemed like the legendary drop rates just were not as good as they were in Wave 1. And so, I mean, epics were fine. You're going to have enough epics. I had all the epics I needed. I was sacrificing epics left and right to push people up and getting more of them. So who cares? You know, so that's no issue. It really was about getting my legendaries built up and ready to go for the 151 fight. And then going back and building a hero here or building a hero there to beat a 2-star challenge. Okay. So we also have our pages, tomes, and scrolls. So this is for what, you know, legendaries need tomes, epic needs scrolls, rares and below need pages. You have a lot of pages. You get a lot of pages. You get a lot of scrolls too. If not, I think 100 or 110 drops scrolls. But you don't usually have much difficulty scrolling folks up just based off some of the 2-star rewards are scrolls and tomes. Some of the 1-star rewards are scrolls and tomes. So you get like 10. The average hero needs 16. So you're almost scrolling someone up by getting 1 drop of 10 scrolls. So I didn't come into any conflict with my rares or my epics ever needing to go farm scrolls or pages. Okay, just never did. I did have to farm 130 for tomes, but that's not bad because it drops heroes too. So that is, you saw that in our path. Then we have weapons. I didn't include what their weapons are in here, but we have all of their weapons already pre-assigned down here. And then the Godsteel, the faction rare epic Lego Godsteel to push up those weapons. So as we get down to here, we're going to see this is our wave. So our first team that we really need to build is a wave clearing team. Okay, something that's going to progress us. Now, you see my junior high wave clearing team is Lady Zoc, who is I'm going to start with, I could start with Ramses too, wouldn't matter. Guan Yu, I just have not really liked Guan Yu. I don't know. I mean, he's got some cool stuff in his kit, like they're trying to help him, but it just doesn't hit the way Lady Zoc and Ramses does. I mean, it does, but it's just, I don't know. He's definitely not equal to the other two. They need to work on him just a hair. But anyways, here's my team. I'm going Lady Zoc. Hippolyta is my big one, all right? We're going the Hippolyta route this time. We got Scotty because she's just unreal in the rare category. She's not, like, untouched. Nobody's better than Scotty as a rare disruptor for control. And then Shinigami and Dagonet. Shinigami and Dagonet both put defense down on. Shinigami obviously smacks a bit too. Dagonet strips and locks. So I'm going to build all 5 of them with Dagonet and Maria. Actually, 6, sorry. All 6 rares are going to be built out because Maria is extremely useful for levels with lots of buffs. All right, I'm not going to spill everything there, but you see some empty teams below that I'm not going to share with you just yet because we're going to do like specific videos for those levels and those teams. But for now, you can get an idea where she could be used because Maria hits very hard when the other team puts up a lot of buffs. And that is some of the key stopping points in the cavern is when you have Isis Quetzalcoatl, Isis Horus, Isis, you know, Quetzalcoatl Horus, like all together at 149. There is a lot of buffs going up, and it is very difficult to strip them off if you don't have Isis or Mordred or somebody else who strips buffs, and it's very hard to hit through their buffs. Like, I find it very strange. The enemy could have just a mend on, not a shield, just a mend, right, to heal them. And man, you hit them and it's like they got a brick wall in front of them. I don't get it. So when they get buffs on them, they just don't take damage, even if the buff has nothing to do with it. It's kind of strange. So I don't know if that will be fixed. But in order to get by some of these levels that have been a bit buggy and stopping people, Maria is my sort of secret weapon. I used her in wave 2. She did 1,000,000 damage against, I think it was 142. Yeah, I think it was level 142, the Isis. She did like 1,000,000 damage in the run just because she was hitting so hard because they had like 10 buffs up on everybody. So that's another alternative. I'm going to be building Maria. And then this as my first team, you know, sort of the starting team. And then I'm going to be looking to get to add my JV pieces in. So I'm going to be looking to get Gilgamesh, who I have gotten in both runs. And I just don't really see a second. There's not a second Gilgamesh in the game, epic-wise. Like, Gilgamesh is one of one, and he works so well at clearing waves, and Green Knight works really well too, but he's a little slower. He's more of like hit me and I'll hit you kind of thing and retaliate, which is great. He tears through teams. He has Radiance, which helps a lot. Radiance is like a bit overpowered in terms of how it reflects damage back, or at least it is towards us when we face it. Beowulf is kind of I use him as like a niche one as well, like Maria. Like, I'd bring him in very niche cases where I needed single point damage. I needed to take out one hero on the other, or one enemy on the other team first, and like they were tanky or something. So Beowulf I have in there, and Mordred is easily the best like control in the game. Like, I know I've used Odin, he's good too. I've used Loki, he's good too. Don't get me wrong, they're both good, but you're not going to have them at this point. Mordred and Scotty are 2 of your best control for not only the wave clearing, but Scotty's also really good when you get to 120 for her freeze steals divinity against 90. Fafnir, she's good too. So she's in our 90 and level 90 Fafnir team and level 120 Golden Guardian team. So you can see she flows through and isn't an extra build. I'm not building her to clear waves and to do the boss, you know, or and then build someone else to do the boss. I'm building her. She's double tapping. I just need to change out her weapon and sometimes possibly her gear, but usually she's just being built with high accuracy and good speed. All of them have good speed. That's kind of like my mantra as I go and I farm legs and boots for speed for everyone in the gear set that they need. So, you know, if they need defense, then I'm going to get legs and speed defense, boots and legs speed defense sets. If it's a disruptor, I'm getting disruptor, like a disruptor set, speed, legs, and boots, so they get their bonus that they need for accuracy, and they all start with a base set of speed, because that's the key stopping feature I found. At 142, the speed jumped up. At 149, the speed jumped. So if you're not ahead of them and they're putting all those buffs up, you're never going to beat them. So it requires you speed up, and you have to be about over a 175 speed, roughly closer to 200 as you hit the 140s and above. So I just try to build speed from the beginning as much as I can. It's just my philosophy. And so you see the JV team here: Gilgamesh, Green Knight, Beowulf, Mordred. You can see the weapons. I'm getting a Shamshir weapon, which gives turn meter after using your ultimate for Hippolyta, because her ultimate brings joint attack in. So then I want her to use her shield, which is her core, fast right after she uses her ultimate. So she's got Shamshir. Lady Zoc, I'm just going Battle Axe. I'm not playing with this. She's getting raw damage, and it's going to go up, and she's just going to be smacking. I might put her to 50 before we hit level 50. We'll see. Then you got Shinigami and Dagonet and Scotty will all be using the Kopesh weapon, which reduces the enemy's resistance. Same thing as giving them accuracy. So we're going to be putting that on them. And then you can see Mordred. We're giving him the Fan Axe, which helps to spread debuffs. I think he puts Curse out, or something like that. So it helps spreading his debuffs if he has the chance. We're getting the Makahuto for Beowulf, which is a first wave damage increaser. So if we need him to clear something, that first hit, we get him. He gets a little bit extra damage. Then we have two Heka weapons on Green Knight and Gilgamesh, turning their HP into attack, which helps brawlers tremendously in doing damage. Now, the varsity wave clearing team, this is what we've used and what we like the best, but we haven't gotten until endgame, which is Aphrodite in the lead for speed, Anubis, Shamash, and Zeus. Okay, why that? Well, Aphrodite, Shamash, and Zeus is what I call my joint attack jumbo package. Okay, those are your three big joint attackers, and they are amazing because Aphrodite pumps divinity, which helps Zeus get his ultimate, which means he joins attacks. Shamash gets his ultimate, or his core and joint attacks. Aphrodite puts her core on someone and does a basic and ultimate, and joint attacks. And then Anubis, when he kills anyone on the other team and he's tomed up, he gets puts a despair on everyone. So he puts a crowd control on everyone when he kills someone. And he hits for very hard because I had him at like 120,000 HP with a Heka weapon. So, or a World Splitter or anything that pumps up his HP. Heka is probably best for him for wave clearing. World Splitter or a Grail or something might be better for him for some of the boss fights. But anyways, that is my team. Zeus, Shamash, Anubis, and Aphrodite. That is my goal wave clearing team that I want as soon as possible so I can go to any level, any of the 150 levels, and farm it as fast as I need to. So, minute and a half. I've found you can't really farm levels faster than 30 seconds. Like all of the time that goes into just watching everything, even if you one hit, it's like a 30-second run. So we'll have to wait till we get 3.5 times speed to get down to like a 10-second run. But for right now, 30-second runs are our goal to try to have on any level. And that way we can farm whatever it is we need to push up the rest of our heroes, max them out, and beat all the 2 stars, and then just focus on putting in the highest score possible for Fafnir. Okay? So those are our wave clearing teams. Our alternates for the junior varsity is Emotep. Emotep is amazing. If you get him, do not sacrifice him. He's really good. He puts out radiance. He's really helpful for getting by some of the levels that you just can't seem to smash your way through. Percival also is kind of like an interesting one. He has stun. He has some puts radiance on himself as well. So he's like a lesser version of Emotep in that regard for like radiance. So I would choose Emotep as like my alternate. And then for the first wave, the varsity team, Isis would be my alternate because I can bring her in with that joint attack team, and everyone throws her to pull buffs off of whoever needs buffs pulled off of. So that works really well as well. If you have like a 142 or a 149, take Anubis out, put Isis in, and now you are just pulling buffs off and putting them on you. You don't need to buff yourself. Whatever they put on, you got, and then you're just dealing damage through them with Zeus doing most of the damage. Okay? So then we get to level 90 Fafnir team, and you can see we needed a high HP lead. That was how we got by it in last wave. We just couldn't beat it, and we did a high HP. We put Gilgamesh in the lead. Gilgamesh, not really someone I would have brought into the Fafnir fight exactly, but his HP lead helped to get us by. If I had Anubis, I would put Anubis in that fight because he has initiative down, which is better, and a higher HP lead. But I got Anubis at level 90 as the reward for beating 90. So I don't expect, maybe you won't have him, but he could be your first Lego. It's not impossible. Then in the defensive role, Isis or Heimdall or Hippolyta is what I'm expecting to come in with. If I had an Isis or a Heimdall, I would use that, but obviously I think Hippolyta can do the job. Scotty will be our CC. She'll be putting freeze. She'll be doing turn meter and or speed down and divinity steal. So that'll be helpful. We'll use Emotep for the radiance or Percival for the radiance. So that's why we kind of put them in as our alternates, because that helps quite a bit, and that helped me to beat Fafnir level 90 a little quicker, was to have Emotep's radiance on the team. Lastly, you need the bleed, the damage dealer for this, and that is either Achilles if you get, or Achilles or Lady Zoc, which I'll have, will be my for sure. Then I'll get to the 120 team. Again, we'll go with the HP lead. We can go with speed if we had our final 120 team, but this is like the first time through 120, not the like farming 120 team. So I usually would go Aphrodite in my lead, or you know, something like that, or, you know, Quetzalcoatl or something like that for speed. But in this one, we're just trying to get by it. So we're using HP. We're again using pretty much the same team again for 120. But I'm assuming we may have Achilles. We may have Anubis. We may have some higher because we'll be able to farm level 100. We'll be able to get Aminono weapons at 108 and be able to steal divinity. So it will work a little bit differently. But that is our base teams. And now you see we have a 132 team, a level 132. That's Isis, Quetzalcoatl in the third wave. Kind of tricky. They put a lot of buffs up on themselves. You have to kill Quetzalcoatl first, and then when you kill her, she revives herself and everyone else, even though she's not supposed to revive herself. She's just supposed to revive everyone else with 50% HP. So if they fix that, you kill Quetzalcoatl, she's down. You kill Isis before she revives Quetzalcoatl, so don't let her get her ultimate, and then you're past it. And there's like a Horus and a Set or something like that as well, and they're just a pain in the ass, but you really need to go Quetzalcoatl, Isis to beat that. Then you get to level 142, and this Isis and Horus team is pretty hard. It's also, there's like Hercules in the first wave, there's like Drac in the second wave. It's three pretty solid waves. I think the first wave has Shamash and Herc or something like that, and you got to beat Shamash first because he just revives everyone automatically, which again doesn't seem like exactly how his kit works, but maybe they'll fix that. Maybe he won't automatically revive everyone. Maybe he'll have to like get to his core or his ultimate to do it. But he kind of, right now, he does it like it's a passive. So it's very odd. But anyways, that's hard to get by. We've got a team built for that. We've got a team built for 149, which is the double Isis Quetzalcoatl Horus team. That's pretty much like your hardest. That's the third wave of 149. Pretty tricky. To have two Isises, you got to kill a Quetzalcoatl and then two Isises before anyone revives anyone, and then the Horus is kind of the last one. And if you kill Horus and Isis revives him, he gets Radiant. So you really want to go Quetzalcoatl, Isis, Horus to win. But it was a long fight, and it took us a while. And then, like I said, the 2-star heroes down here: Kate Sith, Isolde, Ramses, Guan Yu, Shub, Lugal, and Satyr. Probably be building them up to 50, I would imagine, and then putting really good gear on them in order to do a 2-star challenge. We will be looking at that. So this wraps up our portfolio view. And then last but not least, I'm just going to show you real quick the reference view. This is sort of all of our data behind the scenes of like okay, so here's the promotions. You see just shy of 3.5 million XP required and 200,000 coin for a Lego. It looks like it's the same across all of the rarities in terms of promotion costs for XP and coin. Here's your abilities. I still am missing how many tomes a few of these take. I didn't capture all of them, so I'll be looking to get the rest of that real quickly from the cluster. and everything like that. But it didn't stop me from showing you this path in this video. It's just that more of this data is going to fill in before wave 3, and my decision making. What do I do right now? Do I farm this? Do I farm that? Do I go this? Do I go that? This hero, that hero? A lot of that will be taken out of play, and I'll just know to run my program, run my process here, and because it's all well thought through in advance. That's great when I'm, 36 hours in with no sleep and I'm trying to like, what am I doing? And I've rewatched all of my live streams. So I've like gone back and watched the tape, and I've made mistakes. I've totally made mistakes that I can tell were just fatigue, where I was tired. I forgot I was doing this, and then I went and did that. So this will help us stay on track and stay on that precision path, so that my goal is to be to 150, I'd say in the first 30 hours. Probably would be, 24 to 30 hours would be my goal. Maybe we'll do it faster. I'm not sure, but that's what we're trying to do. And then here you can see how much it takes in terms of God Steel and coin to fully rank up a weapon to level 60. And what I would say is that similar to heroes, ranking to 6-star is not near as bad as going from 6-star up to 60. That last little push is a lot of resources, and it's the same with weapons. So perhaps 6-star but not level 60, or like not fully pushed up weapons is okay. It's going to do the trick. An Ami No at when you first get it, it's 5% Divinity Steel. At 60, it's 10% Divinity Steel. Is 9 or 10% difference like a big difference? I didn't see. So I only brought him up to like 6-star level 50. I didn't push him and max him because the cost to do so just didn't make sense for what I got back for it. Yeah, the stats go up another 10% and stuff, so it's nice, but it didn't stop me from doing where are we? Almost over a billion, or yeah, let's see, we're over a billion on Fafnir. And so I didn't really need those extra boosts. So I'm not going to go for them this time. I'm just going to bring them to 50 or 5 stars or wherever I need to. And if I need to push one up, it's not working, great, I'll do it. But I'm not going to push them all to 60. I'm just going to be looking to get them to level 50 right to here. And you can see I still got a few gaps in the information for like epic weapons. And then we're working on gear and where to farm boots and legs, Falcon, speed gear, brawler gear for our HP. Just basically have people be fast enough and get the stats they need. Always speed is a given, and then whatever else you need. That's kind of my strategy. All right. So this is the alchemy stones here. How many alchemy stones you need for a legendary? 75 raw, 90 polished, 75 perfect. And then this is for an epic and a rare. Like I said, I didn't mess with the uncommon and commons too much because it wasn't that consequential. But this is our perfect path, or our precision path for wave 3, telling you what we're going to do, who we're going to build, the 20 heroes we're going to rely on, and what we're going to do to go up the or up to 150 as fast as possible, post a score at 151, go back, beat all the 2-star challenges, and then come back and see whether or not we want to try to put in a Fafnir score to, be in the top 15, 20, whatever like that. Or if it's buggy and I just don't care, like I'm not going to waste, 14, 17 hours of my life trying to put in a score when maybe it's buggy or the leaderboards aren't working or something like that. So I'm going to play it by ear as to whether or not I really try to compete, but I'm going to compete with myself, like trying to do the cavern as fast as possible, try to do as many 2-star challenges as I can. Like I said, I came within 12 last time, so I think we can get inside single digits this time for sure, with what we know and the plan we're building. And so it really will come down to, how are things working? Is there buggy issues? Is there gear like in wave 2 with the bear gear? Is it scaling indefinitely and it's broken? I really don't want to go post a score based off of like some bug that's not really supposed to work. If you've watched me, I've tried to build teams that work the way the game is supposed to work and still do good scores, but I'm not trying to cheese it or just get by it. I want to know how it works so I can beat it, with the right mechanics that the heroes have and should do and stuff like that. So if that's working, if wave 3 doesn't have any serious bugs like wave 1 and wave 2 have, then maybe I'll try to really compete in the top 5. But I can't go to Vegas anyways. I've got the pups. No one can watch them. My PTSD is not great for me to go traveling across the country without my support animals and stuff. All things that wouldn't work well for me. So I would probably have to send somebody in my place. So I thought about it. At first, I was like, maybe I won't like even try to compete. I won't even put myself in that position of taking up a spot because then I couldn't go. But then I was like, what if I did get it and I let somebody, one of my viewers, go in my place? That would be a cool giveaway, you know, win a trip to Vegas. Heck, I might give it to Ragey. He's the one that gave me this, the team comp here for this million damage Fafnir team when he was in my live stream. So it's like something like that. I'd give it to somebody who was there and was participating and was part of my journey. Maybe that could be a cool way to do it. So that's my strategy. Is I'm going to push to 150 as quickly as I can, post a score at 151, go back, finish as many of the 2-star challenges as I can, see where things are in the game, in the meta. And if people are posting 90 trillion scores, then I'm not going to try to compete. I'm not going to go waste a 14-hour run to put in a billion. This was so long. It was overnight. It started at 10:40 at night and went until the game basically was about to end at like 11 the next morning. And it ended at like 10:20 because it took us 20-some minutes to die, to do basics and kill ourselves. But we did have an emergency break, and we were able to die and post the score pretty close to exactly where we wanted to. So this team, Sphinx, Shamash, Achilles, Heimdall, and Aphrodite, is a very good team. Although I understand now, my Heimdall had a 2-piece bear set. So apparently that 15% defense was scaling just ongoing. I guess that's what the bear set was broken last one. It does make sense because Heimdall like soloed it for him by himself for 100 million. So maybe his defense was just like 800 bajillion at that point. I don't know. But he did still die. So it wasn't broken to the point where he couldn't die. But anyways, that was what, and I still think Heimdall will be probably the answer for the team here. But we aren't going to try to compete if it looks broken. I will just, kind of play around with things after that, or just, sleep, get some sleep and not worry about it. But, I might have 7 or 8 days in the Wave 3 Alpha where I don't have a ton to do because I've done a lot of it and I'm not interested in building up and trying to compete for the Fafnir. That is if it's not fair. Like if it's looking broken and buggy, I'm not going to get involved. I'm not going to try to get into that discussion. I feel like there's going to be a lot of hurt feelings and a lot of upset people when they work that hard and it's not fair and it's not working. So I don't even want to almost be in the conversation when that happens. That's just me. But if it looks fair, it looks like the leaderboard's working, it looks like things are real, then I will give it a go and we'll try to build over the next 8 days or whatever the highest Fafnir team we can, and see if we can get in the top 5. And then we'll be looking to give away a trip to Vegas if we do get it. So pay attention if I'm in the runnings in Wave 3. That could mean a trip to Vegas for somebody because I can't go. All right, so everybody, this is our Wave 3 precision path, finding order in the chaos, looking at the numbers, looking at the heroes we need, looking at the heroes we've used. What do we need to get by, the areas we need to get by? That all wrapped up into one nice video for you. I want to thank you for sticking with us all the way through this one, and make sure to take care of yourself. And remember, play smarter.